Hi guys, it's Kepri here. Free agency is now truly underway in the League of Legends world, and a lot of players are switching teams. Some have been in the woodwork for a while, but some have come completely out the blue and surprised everyone. Today on DraftBuff, we'll be breaking down some of the biggest moves so far this offseason and what they'll mean for 2021. First up, let's talk TSM. After an abysmal Worlds run and Bjergsen retiring to become the head coach, they've changed a lot of the roster. Obviously Bjergsen needed replacing, and they've gone with Power of Evil from FlyQuest. PoE's a great addition. He's consistently been one of the best performers in the LCS in his position and in our fantasy game, and he'll surely be a great addition to the team. Although he has some massive shoes to fill, of course. Huni's a questionable pickup though. The Korean top laner has just come off the worst season of his career, and he showed this in his fantasy performances. The jury's out on Huni, and hopefully he can regain the form we saw in 2015 and 2016. Huni's move to TSM means Broken Blade is out, and he's been traded to Schalke 04 in EU. Broken Blade had a shaky start to life in the LCS, but quickly grew into his role and became one of the few bright sparks during TSM's abysmal Worlds run. He should fit very well with Schalke's style and can be expected to be a really good points earner going into 2021. Truthfully though, any top lane moves made in America were decided by wherever Licorice went, and Mr. Ritchie has decided to go with FlyQuest. This was a really big coup for the team. They seem to be making cuts to their wage budgets due to COVID, and it wasn't expected that they'd spend the nearly $2 million needed to sign the C9 top laner, but they did. Licorice is arguably the best top laner in the league and has been a consistently high scorer in our fantasy game. Do like FlyQuest did and grab him as soon as possible. Speaking of FlyQuest, it's finally time for Jose Diode. The Latin American jungler impressed a lot of people at Worlds, and is expected to have a lot of suitors. FlyQuest won the race, and now we get to see one of the most exciting rookie talents in the LCS. Jose Diode is a very aggressive jungler, and can be expected to pick up some big points for your fantasy team next season. His transfer to FlyQuest marks the first time a player has moved from the LLA to a major region. Hopefully we can see quite a few more of these coming in the years to come. Now, we really can't do this video without talking about perks, can we? Mr. G2 and the King of Europe has left the team he's been on since getting promoted from the Challenger scene, and he's set Twitter alight for weeks with this news. It should be obvious to say that this guy guarantees championships wherever he goes, and Cloud9 can probably expect quite a few more rings with him in their roster. Perks averaged a KDA of 4.4 last year as an ADC, and moving to NA, as well as returning to mid, will surely help him pad those stats up even further. He should be a must draft player for your league. If you have the chance to grab him and you don't, you may as well just concede your league already. Another massive one from Europe is that Rekkles has left Fnatic. We were all shocked when the news was announced this week. Rekkles has spent 8 years on that team, give or take a few months, and it was pretty much expected he'd retire there. It's also been confirmed that he's joined their fierce rivals G2 as a starting ADC to replace Perks, and as a free agent, Fnatic will get no money from his transfer. Now that is gonna sting. Rekkles will undoubtedly slot into this G2 team without too many problems, and can be expected to be as high a point scorer this coming year as he was last year, a definite first pick choice for your ADC role. Speaking of big players moving, could we be seeing a couple of world champions on the move? Nuguri and Beryl, the top and support from the recently crowned Damwon Gaming, entered free agency on the 16th, and are still free agents as of making this video. It's entirely likely that they're just entering free agency to get some information on their market value, and then return to Damwon with their demands. But we could well see them on the move as well. Could a transfer to another LCK team or even an LPL team beckon in the near future? Let us know your guesses down below. Let's stick with the East for just a little bit longer. We've also seen some movements in China. On FPX, Gimgoon and Khan have left. Gimgoon was crowned champion in 2019 with FunPlus Phoenix, and Khan may not have got a ring for himself, but he's been a consistently high performer since 2017. It's unlikely they'll move out of the East or even the LPL, but who knows, free agency's wild, man. Kramer has also left LGD Gaming to the shock of many. Despite a disappointing showing at Worlds overall, Kramer's a brilliant ADC and averaged a 5.0 KDA in Season 10. LGD have also released Peanut, their jungler, who is also currently looking for a new team. These two did well at Worlds despite a disappointing start in the play-in stage, and shouldn't be expected to be without a team for too long. Let's head back to EU now. Misfits are close to signing Vander from Rogue, who became a free agent on the 16th. Rogue will be replacing with his AGO Rogue counterpart Trimby, and time will tell to see if they've made a good call or not bringing the rookie up. Vander's a veteran of the scene, having been playing professionally since Season 4, a 3.9 average KDA in Season 10 and a 59.8% kill participation makes him a good pairing for Cobby and Misfits. It could be a good pair to draft for your fantasy team. Sticking with EU, Mad Lions are expected to make some moves in the market. They had most of their business wrapped up not long after their Worlds exit, and they look to be signing Armut and Elguya. Armut took a starring role in Supermassive's run through play-ins at Worlds 2020, and is a very aggressive laner with plenty of carry potential. Mad Lions saw that all too well at Worlds. Shadow's apparently getting some interest from the LPL, so he could well be on his way out, and Mad will be replacing him with Elguya. Having played for the Movistar Riders in the Spanish Regional League this year, Elguya has a varied champion pool and a similarly aggressive playstyle to Shadow. Armut and Elguya could be some shrewd pickups if you're unable to grab some players like Wonder or Jankos. And finally, it looks like Bang could be set for a homecoming. The two-time world champion was released by Evil Geniuses just before free agency opened in favour of signing Lost, who gets his debut in LCS after playing for TSM's academy. Bang had a strong season at Evil Geniuses and could definitely still do a job at ADC for another team. There are rumours that he could be making a return to T1, previously known as SKT. They seem to be clearing house somewhat after failing to qualify for Worlds, but it's unlikely that Teddy will be one of the players on the chopping block. He could go back home and split time with Teddy, or perhaps even go back as a coach. We've seen Bengi rejoin his old team as a positional coach to a decent amount of success. Keep your eyes on this move, folks. Well, that's all we have time for today. I know there's so many more transfers and moves that we could talk about, but we'll have to save those for another time. Which move shocked you the most, and which player do you think will be the most successful at his new team? Let us know down below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll see you next time.